Who benefits from what's happening and what's being justified on the basis of this, quote, virus? Anyone that wants to transform human society into an Orwellian state, which I've been saying that that's exactly where they are taking us for 30 years. So if people just take a breath and look at it and say, who benefits? And why is this craziness destroying who benefits from the economic system being destroyed? Anyone that wants to put another one in place. And you know, I've said this many times as we've chatted. This whole conspiracy, the whole cult way of manipulating society is psychologically. It's a psychological game. You know, when there's a few of you, and compared with the global population, they are a very few, you can't control people physically. You can do it in a certain area through troops and the army, and what they want to do is do it absolutely through connecting AI to the human brain. But for the moment, they can't. How you have to do it is you have to program people's perceptions, because from perceptions comes behavior. It's a real simple thing. Your perceptions become your behavior. And you go one step back, where do your perceptions come from? They come from information received. So if you control the information, the constant narrative, and most people just believe it because that's all they hear. Repetition is the wonderful, magnificent form of mind control. You control the information, you overwhelmingly control perception among those that don't question. And from perception, you control behavior. And what they're manipulating now, as they do all the time, but here is a wonderful, potent example of it, is they're manipulating this, what appears to be this innate human trait of fear of death, which is an expression of another innate human trait, which is fear of the unknown. So the reptilian brain at the back of the brain, it's a survival mechanism along with other parts of the brain, but this is a big one, the reptilian brain at the back. And the reptilian brain doesn't think, it reacts. And it's constantly scanning the environment for threats to survival. Not just threats to life, threats to your job, threats to your relationship, threats to everything. And this kind of background anxiety that people feel, a lot of it comes from here. And if you're driving your car and someone walks in front of your car, what bangs the brakes on is the reptilian brain, because it doesn't think. It reacts far quicker than the thinking processes react. I mean, when someone walks in front of your car, you're not going to say, oh, do you think I should stop? What do you think, dear? Bang! Now that's great, and it's part of the survival mechanism. But when the reptilian brain survival mechanism starts impacting upon general life, then all hell breaks loose, chaos breaks loose. And give you two examples of it. Panic buying. Panic buying is the survival mechanism kicking in. And when that kicks in and it's not kept under control, it perceives its survival to be the only thing that matters. So if I have to survive and you don't for me to survive, well, fair enough, because I've got to survive. This is panic buying. I mean, we've had fights in supermarket aisles over toilet rolls. You know, you run out of toilet rolls, use the morning papers. What could be more appropriate? You can't wipe your ass with the BBC and CNN, unfortunately, but if you could, you should. And so this panic buying is this survival mechanism kicking in. And something else comes from that. The survival mechanism will agree to anything, no matter how draconian and how fascistic, so long as it perceives it will aid its survival. So what a pandemic does, what they call a pandemic, that was declared by Tedros at the World Health Organization anyway, what a pandemic does is it kicks in this survival mechanism, and it means that not only will you accept authority imposing tyranny, you will demand that authority imposes tyranny.